something, or perhaps I should better say someone, told me that today's project is going to become really, really sweet in the truest sense of the word. Hello Heinzl crew, and welcome back to Vaultober 2025, where old ideas from the Heinzl Vault get a fresh new twist. Each day in October, a new door in the Vaultober calendar unlocks to reveal an idea from the past. And on my video days, like for example today, I take that idea, revisit it, and give it a brand new spin to inspire your own projects. And today we are going back to the year 2022, to be very clear, to August 13th, 2022, when I made some candy corn birds that never found their way into a project until now. We will combine them with a fun technique for using both the positive and the negative pieces of die cuts, and out of all this will come the sweetest tag I've ever made, quite literally. Please don't adjust your screen. These are the colors of today's project, and everything today is inspired by candy corn. Behind the Vaultober door from yesterday, you could find some candy corn projects, like my candy corn birds, and also this candy corn journal cover. Holy moly, I think I need some junk journal medicine. I have the feeling I can't talk today. To be honest, I am so tired. I even considered a coffee for my junk journal medicine today, but then I had the feeling that I can't sleep, wouldn't be able to sleep later. So this needs to work now. If you're new to Vaultober or new to my channel, first, welcome. And second of all, you can find a link to the Vaultober page on my website. There you can find all the information about Vaultober, which is something like a daily thing. And the idea behind that whole thing is to revisit old ideas and give them a new twist. Because I think sometimes we make things and then we forget them, or like my candy corn birds here, they go into a drawer in the craft room and then we either never use them or we forget them, or years after we made those things, we think, how the heck did I do that? How did I do this technique? I can't remember. Or we think, well, this idea is so cool, why haven't I done it twice or with a little variation or so? And then these ideas are gone somehow. And the sense of this thing is that we take these ideas and do them again with a little twist. And in the last video, I had a little brainwave, and from that brainwave, I got the idea for this brand new printable I made exclusively for Vaultober 2025. This printable is called Candy Corn Shenanigans, and I think it's the perfect name for this printable. You can find the link down below in the description box, and also on today's post, or in today's post, is that better English, on the Vaultober page. And it's definitely worth to visit the Vaultober page, because you will find a discount code there, okay? So on the Vaultober page, there are a lot of surprises for you. So if you like what I'm doing, and if you like, especially like digital paper, then it's definitely worth to go there and check that out. And as you can see, I can't cut something like this out and talk at the same time. This is absolutely crazy. But I thought, since I want to use my candy corn birds here today, which were made with the help of some die cuts, I thought, what if you don't have these die cuts? These are the silhouette birds by Zizix and Tim Holtz. There's also another set available which is called Love Birds, where also birds are in the set and they are a little bit bigger, so you could use that as well. But I thought, what if you don't have something like this, or you could even use another bird die cut or cut one by yourself. Yeah, but what if you don't have that? Then you could perhaps consider using this here. There are also other animals and other creatures, but also some really cool birds. I'm so in love with these, and you can see it's a lot. It's a total of 5 pages with fuzzy cut images. When I made these, to be honest, I nearly peed myself because I had to laugh so loud because this, I mean, what is this? This is just so cute, but they all are a little different in style, as you can see. I also made this group here from the cats and this little guy. I think he's my favorite. Look at him. How cute is he? But this is also meant as like a little example on how you could use these. Of course, you can use them as focal points on tags, cards, belly bands, or whatever. Throw them to a journal cover as a focal point on the cover. But you can also make little party groups or so. I think, especially for Halloween, that is a really nice thing that you could do that. And here are even more birds. As I said, I wanted to have some different styles on this printable because I thought then they are more versatile. So here are also some birds which look pretty much like from vintage books or so, but also in the candy corn colors, but not so extremely like this one, for example. This here, he looks like you could eat him. Yeah, I mean, don't eat him, okay? Don't lick the artwork. So, this is the same page like the other one. Sorry, I've accidentally printed that twice, obviously. And yeah, here are also some moths, some more creepy creatures. I'm really hoping that you're not afraid of these. And also these spiders. Where are the spiders? I thought I make some cute spiders instead of creepy spiders, but these would work for Halloween as well, wouldn't they? I mean, they are just cool. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to first put this out of my way, and then let's talk about this. This is not here to calm down the color combination here. I mean, you might think, eh? This is not in candy corn colors. That's completely correct. But this is what I want to combine with my birds here and with these creatures. Because this is the idea / the technique I want to put on these as the twist, if that makes sense. This here I made in a recent video. This is not so old, but you can find that on today's post on the Vaultober page as well, the video about this, where I go into very deep detail about the idea of using the negative pieces and the positive pieces of a die cut. And you have wished for more ideas like that. So here I am to give you more ideas, or at least one more idea, but in combination with these birds. If you have crafted along when I made these, I have seen some people who did that. Consider, if you have these die cuts, to make yourself some birds. Well, this one is perhaps not so nice here. And put them to your tag, because I think that this is a really cute addition. Or what you also could do, if you have crafted along when I published this video, or perhaps you watch it today because it's on the page, on the Vaultober page, you could also consider making something like this and then just add a few of these, like a little group or even single creatures from the set, perhaps like this. This is perhaps a little bit too big. I would print them then perhaps a little bit smaller, but I'm hoping you get the idea. This would probably be a little bit more harmonious on here, like so, for example, or perhaps you prefer him. Or perhaps you want a cat. Before I forget that, and I need, I think, one of these now. thanks to Barbara at 49 Dragonflies, who has sent me this candy corn here. I already thought that she is a fortune teller or so, because she has sent these right in the perfect moment. They arrived a few days ago. And as you can imagine, I find that pretty cool. And if you want to... Where's my paper? If you want to know the whole story behind the candy corn birds, go to the Vaultober page and check out the post from yesterday. There I explain everything and why. Yeah, you will there also learn why candy corn is something pretty special to me, especially in combination with our wonderful community. So what I want to do now is I want to take this die cut set here with this cool flower. It's one of my absolute favorite die cut sets. This has the number 666283. This is by Zizix and Tim Holtz. And I want to take this piece here. So if you have the same set and you want to craft along, it's this layer where all of these fancy details are. But you don't necessarily need this thing. You could also, of course, take any other die cut you like. So I have cut this here, and perhaps you might think, how stupid is she? Because she wasted a lot of paper. No, she didn't. She needs this space around the die cut here. In the other video where I made these tags, I explained that way more in detail than I will do that in this video, because I want to avoid that, that this gets too long, and I don't want to bore you, because you know, if you have watched the other video, then you already know all the details. Of course, I don't want that you think, ooh! Okay. Is this a problem? No, it isn't. I have the feeling that this paper is not very good for die cutting. Yeah. Of course, that's what I was trying to say. Of course, I'm willing to share all of my secrets. Yeah, I mean, why am I sitting here and I'm sharing what's behind such a technique? But I thought, since there is already another video available, I don't want to wreck your nerves by repeating myself. So we are going to need multiple layers of this very same flower. And I do them all in the same way, so that I have a lot of space around the cutting, because we will need some of this material in a second. So now we have 3 layers. So what I want to do is I want to tear in here, because this torn thing here now represents this cut. Can you see that? Hopefully. So then let's tear along here. And obviously you can determine the shape of this just like you want it to have. And what do we need to do here now? We don't have a stem here, so let's do it like this. Why not? And we can then... And now I want to take this layer here, so this I will save for later. And I want to line this up here with this one, just like so. You could take a paper clip if you can't hold it in the air like this, but you know, make your life easy, okay? And now I want to tear this, but in a different shape than the other one is. I'm trying to do that without thinking about it too much. So then let's take the third layer. So I'm lining this up again, and I'm taking both layers so that I can see now what the bottom layer here will really give me, shape-wise, I mean. Oh. How can such a thin paper be so sturdy? And here you can hopefully see why we left so much space around the die cut when we cut this, because we now need the space to create the layers, because the layers are way bigger than this thing is. So for the next step, I think it makes sense to consider some different options. While I was preparing this, I was analyzing this, and I think something which is, yeah, like a background made from ink or with stamps or so. Here we have some flowers in the background which were stenciled through one of the negative pieces of the die cut. I've used that to stay in the theme of the video, but something inked would be really great, I would say. To have a contrast is really nice. I like the gold on here, which was made with gilding wax on the black paper. Here, this was watercolor paper. Unfortunately, this is a very smooth paper and not so textured like this. But what I'm trying to say is, if we only have this, then we can see that this is standing out really well. Also, the animals from the printable here stand out really well. But on the other hand, it's a really bam contrast, yeah, really doll. That's a German word. It's a heavy contrast. If that was blue in the background and perhaps a little bit of gold, why are you so far away? Come a little closer. What the heck is going on here? I'm sorry. That would be, at least in my eyes, way more harmonious. Even this blue would fit the bird here. So what I'm trying to say is to consider also what we would do on these layers, or if we want to do something on these layers, it would be good to find the background before we glue these pieces together. And I think we have different options here, and I want to quickly go through some of those together with you so that you can also see different variations of this idea. Yesterday, I had this on the Vaultober page, which is a freebie for you. It's a total of 4 pages, which you can download for free and print. Also, obviously, candy corn themed, as you can see here. I'm totally proud about this. This looks so cool. So what you could, of course, do is download these. And little hint, today there's a freebie on the page as well. And it has candy corn birds, because I thought if you don't have the die cuts, or if you have nothing where you could recreate this, then it would be helpful that you have something like that. I'm really hoping that you like that. So this could be an option, because then we would stay in the candy corn colors, and we would even have the candy corn there. I find that a really nice thing, but it's also a little bit busy somehow. The leaves here would be a great option. We could also consider going into a little different direction. I find this a really interesting color combination. Imagine we would cut it somehow like so, then that could look really good. This is absolutely bam. I'm absolutely in love with this combination. Absolutely cool. You could also use one of these tags and combine that with the pieces from your die cutting. Ooh, I also like this really much. That is also cool. And what you also could consider is, by coincidence, I have a little piece of something here. You can see my die cutting went wrong here because the paper was just too thick. But what you also could consider is to take something like this, because this is not something for the trash can. And how do I need to do this now? Wait. You could consider layering something like this in between. It's not completely lined up, I'm sorry, but I'm hoping you can get the idea, so that something is peeking through the other layers. I find that really interesting. Obviously, you could also take this piece and turn it around. I mean, yeah, then you would need to manipulate this a little bit and cut it smaller, yeah, but you could also do it then like so. Please ignore this. I find that, ooh, shall we perhaps even use this piece? That could also look really cool. I made something the other day, which obviously went a little bit wrong. But from that, we are not going to talk about this, okay? This has never happened. From this, I have these pieces from the flowers. And obviously, you could also take something like this and put it in between of the other layers, like so. So that it then peeks out here. I find that also really interesting. And what you also could do is you could take a watercolor paper or a tag base or something, I'm sorry, and make your own background with inks. This is some watercolor cardstock by Ranger. I'm using the smooth side of this because I'm thinking I want something else in the background. Let's just throw these on here to see the colors and to get a feeling of what's going on here. Or for what's going on here, or how do you say that? This is not the arrangement it will get later, but let's see. And since this will also go in here later, we need to have that in mind as well. So that means we would need to change the color of the top layer. Shall we there perhaps also use gold? I think that could be really cool. Because what we need is obviously a contrast between this layer and this layer, which will then later on go in here. If this golden thing would be black as well, we would not see this part of the flower so well, yeah, and that's why I made it gold. But please use the color you want. That doesn't really matter what you use. You could also be a great idea to use white, or perhaps you want to stencil with a texture paste on here or so. That could also look really cool. I'm assuming I need to do this very carefully now because this paper has nearly no texture. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is the gilding wax by Craft Emotions. It's called Wax Paste Metallic. And the color is called Metallic Gold. So let's try to get this on here. Somehow regular, but irregular at the same time. Ooh, and I love how the edge turns out. I will show you that in a second. That looks really cool. I'm really surprised. I mean, this is the perfect example for take what you have. And don't think I can't recreate or do an idea which I have seen somewhere only because I don't have the same materials like the person has who has shown that. Because, I mean, compare this. It's totally different, but this looks so cool with this edge. I haven't thought that that would turn out so cool. Oh, that is just wonderful. about chipped sapphire because that has this cool purple-ish color in it. I find this very Halloween-ish. I'm even thinking about some villainous potion, but I think perhaps that is a little bit, that's too much, isn't it? It's a little bit very crazy. If you want to see how I made these little swatch, oh, this is not a good example, then you can find a playlist on my channel about these as well. The playlist is also on the Vaultober page from today. So if you want to know more about these, then you can find that there. Really helpful to have something like this, because we can then clearly see that we want to use chipped sapphire for the background. Instead of spraying the paper with the spray, I want to add a little bit here to my media mat, just like this. And then I'm going to take my paper, and yes, this paper is way bigger than what I will need later, but I want to have options. Okay, this is already pretty cool. Now I want to try a new technique, at least new to me. I came to the idea in a very strange situation of my life, not your problem, but look, we have these blobs here now, and I thought, is it, oh, and yes it is it perhaps possible to do it like this? Spritz water from relatively far away, then start drying this, because that way we have, I would say, a lot of coverage here with not so much spray. I would say with a little bit of spray you can come can come very far, because look how much we have on here now, just with these little drops we had on the mat before. And oh yes, here is happening what I was hoping for, because the spots where the medium was on the paper, when I dipped it in, they get a way more extreme oxidation. Can you see that here? And the rest is then this cool blue, but it looks a little bit like a fog or so. I mean, you can reach that by layering the oxide spray or the oxide ink as well, but I find this really interesting. Also these little blooming effects there look really nice. Yeah, that will turn out absolutely fantastic. And what I'm thinking is, since this is so nice, and since we have so many options with all of these things, with the birds from made from the die cuts, and also with the candy corn shenanigans, let's try something. Let's take this away. Let's take this away. Let's line this up and let's tear it apart so that we can make 2 tags from this. Because I already thought, and that is something which was the whole time in my head, this flower is obviously very big, and I thought it's perhaps a little bit too big to put it to a tag which then later can go into one of my journals. And with this we don't only have 2 of these things, and we can use more of our cute little creatures there, but the tag also gets smaller then, and we see more of the background, but at the same time we have this cool effect from this. What shall we do with this bottom layer? Or with the other one? I mean, we could now decide if we want to change the color of this or of this. Haha, what if we just take this and only make the edges gold? Instead of the whole piece. Let's try that. Because what I want is that these stand out, these single pieces, and that you can see that there are different layers. That's not so bad. So, okay. Then we can take some glue, and now we take this thing, we make sure that all of these little pieces have glue as well. I mean, you could also bend them and, you know, oh no, we wanted to put this in between, right? Oh no. You could also bend them and, you know, have that a little bit like layered, but I like it better when it's completely glued down. And here, let's tear this apart. And now, please excuse, you see my hair now. I want to try to line this up as exactly as I can. So then, it looks like this. Quick little reminder, don't touch your phone case with gilding wax on your finger, otherwise your phone case is going to become gold. I just made a little break to let this dry, took my phone out from the thing there, and now I have a phone case with some golden accents. I'm not so amused, but we will go on with this. So we need to take these to be able to determine the size of the tag. Do I care that this is a little bit broken here? No. Why should I care? Can make it even more interesting when this is not completely round, because this is also not completely round. So then, let's see. This now needs to go in here somehow, because we want to bring it back into the position where it originally was, like so. And I'm not so happy about my negative space there. But that's the good thing about having such a big piece of paper, because now we can see better what we are doing. I think this could be good, like so. I'm just realizing this piece here has somehow the shape of a candy corn. That is coincidence, but look, I really like that, and because of that I think we are going to tear this off. Oh yes, look. Then this is not so massive. And what I also had here is a white layer of this. So I'm thinking if it would perhaps make sense to add a little bit of white here. Here I want to put the glue only to this area here, so that I have more dimension when this is not glued down completely. And hopefully you can see I do this a little offset as well, otherwise we wouldn't see the black underneath anymore. And when this then comes up a little bit, that has a really nice dimension then. And then let's take another black layer. We glue it like this so that the white comes through. Shall we make a little group of 3? I find that already pretty cool, but what I don't like is that his foot is in the air. Let's glue this together. Also a little bit offset, somehow behind here, perhaps like this. And what I also had from this little failed test thing is this. This is just the inside of the flower, but in the colors of this. Yeah, and this thing needs to go here. And what I can see now is that the proportion of this, even if it's not glued down yet, is absolutely not what I was expecting from this. And it's not nice for a shape like this, for the proportion of a tag shape. When I see this, I'm thinking a square would make way more sense. What do you think? I'm going to quickly ink this. This is vintage photo ink. So I'm going to take this, and since this is already pressed in here, I mean, these pieces are not connected, because it's just pressed in here, but I can leave it like it is to make my life a little easier. I can just put my glue on here to glue this down. And this is absolutely crazy because when I thought about this and how I want to do this, and I took this out, I thought that the pieces would turn out pretty similar somehow. But as you can see, it's something completely different, and I find that so fascinating. This color bothers me. There's only the tiniest little bit of the carved pumpkin here, and there's more, what was that, fossilized amber. So I think I will tear this here. So let's first glue this behind here so that it's already in the correct position. Then we can glue this. So I will later on back this with probably 2 other layers in different colors. But let's first put this aside to let it dry, and then let's see what we have left here for making an arrangement with this thing. So for this one here, I've decided for a piece of yesterday's freebie. Whew. Oh my goodness. And a piece of brown paper. Just some craft paper, craft stock. I quickly went around this thing with my sewing machine. And for this one, I decided for this because I really like this color there in the background, even if we will only see the tiniest little bit of that. But I think it's just enough to make this interesting. I will quickly run to my sewing machine again and add a little bit of stitching here and there. And for the quotes, thinking this one says Happy Halloween. This is from Mini Halloween CMS 093 by Stampers Anonymous and Tim Holtz. And for this one, I thought Trick or Treat. Oh, that is amazing. Could work here. No, that's definitely a no. I really like this stamp, but not for this card. Help. It's too massive. It's just too big. I don't like it. It's just way too big. And here it's in the wrong spot. No. Sorry, but I can't do that. Yeah, well. Give me a second. I have accidentally cut it off too much, but that is not your problem. Thanks to video editing, I will have it again here in a second. Because then it's smaller here. It's not so... But still not happy with it. Let me take this and glue that to a piece of this brown paper, because then we have the same color there again, which we have here for the last layer, or the bottom layer. Well, it's basically the first layer, isn't it? You know what I mean. So I'm really hoping you like these ideas, and perhaps you want to try this out with your own materials. Let me know what you think about this. Stay tuned for the next Vaultober doors. So tomorrow a new door will open, and you can go to my website, to the Vaultober calendar, to find out what's behind that door for you. You will there then also find another repost of an older project, and I've again curated a lot of photos and additional information for you there. And that's not only for tomorrow, but also for the following days. So what's today for you? I think it's Tuesday for you. So that means tomorrow on Wednesday you will find another repost there. And then on Thursday you will find another one. On Friday and Saturday you will find another one. And on Sunday, that's my next video day, you will get a brand new video here on my channel, where we then will revisit the idea from Saturday. Did you say splatters? I agree. And I'm really happy that these birds finally found a home on this card. I mean, I still have a ton left over, but I like that because all of the others I have left, I can now put into my stash. And now I have put the paint so stupidly here to the mat that you can't see anything. And I can't put the card down. I like that I have some of them left over, because then I can, in the future, revisit this idea again, and perhaps I will even come up with some more variations of this, or perhaps I want to combine the original idea with the candy corn birds, then with something completely different. Or what I also was thinking is, what we also could try is to combine the birds from the candy corn shenanigans printable with these. I mean, only this is so cute, isn't it? I mean, yeah. The possibilities are endless. I'm really hoping you enjoyed this, and perhaps we will see the next time, which is then on Sunday. And don't forget to open the next doors of the Vaultober calendar, because you will not only find some reposts of older projects there, but also some surprises, freebies, discount codes, and so on. Enjoy, and see you the next time. Bye!